Hi guys, I am overdue in giving you a review of the 18L. As some of you know, I've borrowed it and I've been riding it for the last month or so in preparation for the review of the Kingsong 16X, I'm hoping. Let me give you some background if you're just checking in and an update on that. I'm a Gotway fanboy. I love the way they ride compared to the Kingsongs, and I freely admit it because they've earned it. But I did sell my MCM5, and the reason I sold that is because after riding the Z10, I realized that I prefer a fat tire, the width of the tire being large rather than the diameter over other versions. And the MCM5 has a very narrow tire, and the chances of me riding that once I get either a Z10, a Kingsong 16X, or a Nikola go way down, which is why I sold it, right? So, couldn't be without a wheel. Borrowed this one from Michael. Michael, thank you very much. It is an 18L, not an XL. The main difference is the battery pack. There may also be a difference in the pedal. I understand at some point they started making larger pedals, which is good because in this one, probably hard to see, I've got a size 12 foot and I am overhanging. These shoes are pretty soft, so I can feel where the pedal is, but it's not really cutting it for big guys with big feet, that's what I would say. So hoping for better things from that. Not terribly comfortable in terms of the pedals. Anyway, we're expecting the Kingsong 16X demo to arrive at eWheels next week, and he's going to ship it, I think, to New York first, now that Marty's not reviewing. And they're hoping to get it to me prior to when I'm out of town, which will be June 25th to the 4th. So hopefully sometime before that, although with the way shipping works and people reviewing and what have you, no promises, right? Fingers crossed though. I tend to be cynical, and hopefully I'm wrong here. Production units are expected to be in July. First reviews from Nikola. Marty seems to love his. On the other hand, the people in Singapore, not so much. I heard that one of them sold after riding it for a month. Too many creaks and other kinds of things that started to happen, I guess, as it loosened up and got used. And other problems not elaborated on. I'm trying to find out in the forums. Anyway, on to this one. Rode it a year ago when it first came out. Didn't like it. And well, after a year of riding other ECUs and now getting back on this one, the question is, do I like it? And let me say first that this is in comparison to other modern wheels, all right? So this is a fine wheel, but I don't like it in comparison to other wheels. I find that it is not as agile. The acceleration isn't where I want it to be. The deceleration isn't where I want it to be. It's an 18-inch wheel. I understand there's something you give up for that. The balance feels wonky to me, and I suspect it's because it's a 2.5-inch tire. Other kinds of things that I would point out, this is probably going to be harder to see, is that the handle pops out. See this? That was not me pressing the button, that was just me pulling, right? So at some point, that could happen to your units as well. It's also not 100% consistent on the sensor on this one. Sometimes it goes off. There it goes. And
please decelerate. Please decelerate. Please decelerate.
And that's probably due to the lock of this thing not doing what it needs to be doing consistently. So there are problems that can occur with the trolley. Just be aware of that. Speaker-wise, the speakers are not as good as the Z10. They're tinny and they're missing bass. Hopefully the 16X fixes that, because they did put a 10-watt bass speaker in there along with the 4 Bluetooth speakers that they have. I think I prefer riding this at a lower PSI to kind of help that balance and wonkiness that it has. I've also noticed for me that it's less comfortable to turn to the right than it is to the left. On the left I can do some great, wonderful things. On the right, it feels a little strange to me, and I don't know if that's the balance of the battery packs. I don't know if the 18L fixes that or not. But there's something about turning right on this unit, even a month into it, that on sharp rights I should say, like if I'm going to try to circle a quarter or something like that. Also, I dislike the whine. There's a whine that goes with this, and that whine I can hear even though for the music. Your hearing is going to, obviously, if you've got excellent hearing into the dog range, that whine is going to drive you crazy, and if you don't, you probably won't bother. It's not enough to cause people to get out of the way or what have you. It's just there constantly, and it's annoying. So, I'm going to keep riding. That being said, you know, it's better than like a Kingsong 16S in terms of a wheel, I think, or even a 16. It's probably better than the InMotions, but it's just not where a modern wheel needs to be. It's a space egg, which is not unattractive, but you know, it's got some features that show you the battery coming up on the lights and what have you. See, it's fully charged right now, that are very good, but you know, before I found myself getting out on the road and riding all the damn time because I love the way my MCM rode and other things, or the Z10 rode when I borrowed it, M10. I don't feel the urge to get out and ride on this one. It's just there's a certain joy missing, and I hope that the new Kingsong version fixes that, or I'll have to go a different direction. Yeah, where it stands today, if the 16X rides like this one, I'm not getting the 16X. I'll go for the Z10 and all its problems in shorter range, probably, or the Nikola. But if they can get closer to Gotway, then yeah, we'll go there. So, I wish it was a better review for those of you guys who really love Kingsong. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate mail over this. But the reality is, you know, it's mixing the pixie dust that is. Trying to figure out what else to put my finger on. I guess part of it is, when I talk about the software and the steering, the inputs that I have to give to this to make it do things are much harder than they need to be. And I suspect that's, you know, due to the last minute changes they made with pedal size or what have you, or maybe just Kingsong in general. But you have to really get up on these pedals to get up and go, and likewise to stop. You have to really put the effort in. And once you've been on a wheel that doesn't demand more of that, you crave the easy, right? Because the closer to transparent it is, the more fun it is to ride. And by transparent, I mean the less effort you put into it and thinking about it. It's just you and the road and interacting. And the Gotways tend to move me there faster in that sense. The fatter tires certainly make that, you know, balancing better. So really what I'm after is for the inputs to the wheel to disappear and me just to have fun carving. And maybe that helps you understand the difference, which is, this is a fine commuter wheel, but it is not a fine performance wheel. It is not it doesn't disappear as you're riding it. And that's where I think the Gotways have always kind of kicked ass over the Kingsongs. Kingsong has a fit and finish and polish and safety reputation until these things. But to the 18Ls, which, you know, they had problems shipping and getting out the door, safety issues once they did. But that's, you know, that's the thought. It's really, compared to the other wheels that I've ridden out there, this one's a mid-grade. And for the price point, it should be a lot better than that. So if you're looking at buying an 18, a Kingsong 18, I'd say don't do it. I don't think it's worth buying. Look into other wheels. Like I said, hopefully they knock it out of the park in the new one. I'm really hoping that I could go with that as opposed to the Z10 and all the battery management system problems it has and parts problems that it may have in the future and so on. Also, I'd like the extra range. All right, that's all for now. One more quick thing before I forget. The other thing I hate about these particular pedals is that they're spring or pressure. As a result, you can kind of see They're a pain in the butt to put up and take down. I much prefer the magnetic floppy ones, I guess, for the Gotway and what have you. It just drives me crazy. So if you're constantly putting the pedals up and down, that's going to drive you crazy too, I think. By comparison, I can kind of come over here to that. All right, so there's magnets holding that there, but it's very easy to kind of pop out with your foot compared to this. So